Hi, everyone. I'm Rachel, and this is Musical Artists, a Conversation. On today's podcast episode, we have Youngin joining us today.
Welcome to the limelight.
Youngin is a talented, up-and-coming rap artist from Chicago. Today, we'll be talking about his process with writing, how he collaborates with other creatives in his community, and his latest single, Restitution. How are you doing today?
Man, I can't complain, yo. I kind of like days like these where it's like where it's raining a little bit, so it's kind of like soothing for me, honestly. But and it kind of helps me with my creative process as well. So I definitely got a couple like thoughts coming forward on what I'll write later on. So I ain't mad.
Yeah, I had a lot of questions actually about your creative process. Researching for this interview, I looked into like some of your previous interviews, your previous like things that you have up on your Instagram. And I saw that on your Spotify, you have on your bio that you're just a writer. That's kind of how you like classify yourself. So I was wondering
Yeah.
if you could kind of talk us through one, how you first got interested in rap and like I guess how your writing background plays into that because I believe are you a creative writing major at Columbia?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to know how that like played into your music.
Right, right. So for one, even though I'm from Chicago, I didn't go to high school in Chicago. My mom, she was like, you really got to get your shit together when it comes to like your behaviors for real. Even though I wasn't like that bad of a kid, like I wasn't that bad of a kid, but I definitely had some times where I went like a little off the rails, but I wasn't that bad of a kid when it came to like my studying. So she made me go to this boarding school in California. So when that happened, I didn't really have like that many outlets to express myself or like outlets to express myself without like that fear of just being judged in your head. So with that, I didn't know where I wanted to turn to when it came to just like being productive with just like how to like handle my emotions in the most productive way. So when that happened, one of my teachers, her name's Stacy, shout out Stacy, she had introduced me to creative writing. And because she just said like you don't even have to like write poems or stories or whatever the case. Like you don't even have to do any of that. You could just write out your thoughts because pen and paper, they don't judge nobody. That's when I first like started like getting into writing when it came to just like writing down my thoughts or what's been going on throughout the day or writing letters to people or writing letters to myself or writing letters to myself when I need some type of guidance, this, that, and the third. So once that happened, that kind of kicked off into like me gradually getting a little bit more creative with what I wanted to write. And because music plays not only a focal point in my life now, but it played a big role in what I was going through in high school too. So that kind of it gradually shifted in towards telling stories in a more like poetic sense. So that's when I started like writing stories, started writing poetry. And even though those poems, they kind of like they were way more rhythmic than what I was like intending it to be, you know. So at that point, it was like I met my other homie, Mark John. Mark John, he didn't go to school or he didn't go to the high school at that point in time. He had just graduated by the time I came in, but he was like one of the dorm advisors for one of our semesters. So Mark John, I found out like how that he was a producer. I just wanted to see what his work process was like just to pick his brain. He made this beat on the spot. I'm like, whoa. I didn't know what to make of it because it's like, bruh, I never seen like somebody do that like in real time. So I was really in awe. He just asked, "Hey, you want to rap to this?" I'm like, I don't know what to do to this shit. Like, oh wait, I don't know what am I supposed to say, how I'm supposed to start it or whatever. And I just said like the first things that just came to my head, and he was just was in the other room just looking at me, just like, bro, what? Like, how did you able to come up with that just off the top of your head? I'm like, I don't know. Then after that, just like, all right, boom, this is what we just ended up doing, just like on a daily at that point. So he would just send me beats, and I would just write to him. I keep a Chromebook in my book bag, so I'll be able to like write, so I'll be able to just listen to these beats in my ear while class was going. I'm like, bro, I don't even care about how class right now. I'm just writing. I just keep writing and writing and writing and writing and writing. And then at that point, that's just like when it started to morph into just like me just writing raps for real. That was that launching pad that served for me.
What you wrote about before you started rapping, I know you said like you did a lot of like poetry before. Do you think that is kind of the same as to what you write about now? Like, is the content of your songs similar, or has it changed a lot since you started incorporating music into your writing?
It definitely changed to the point where it's like when I used to write poetry, I didn't necessarily have like an aim for what I was like, what I wanted to get out of it. I was just writing it just to make sure I can harness my thoughts so I don't like go like off the rails. But now I'm kind of like being a little bit more intentional with what I wrote because of like I can be able to create stories without throughout these, whether it's like I'm creating a story that didn't happen or basing these off of just real life moments and then being able to put those into words. At those point in times, I didn't really like have like a way that I could necessarily like tell these stories in the sense that I didn't really like have like a space in which I wanted to express myself in the most productive setting. So I
Mhm.
wanted to like be able to I don't even know how to explain it. It was just like I know I wanted to put my stories into words. I just didn't know how at that point. So now I'm able to have like a I'm able to actually have like a route that that I wanted to like go towards. You know what I mean? I know that answer was a little.
No, you're good. I get what you mean. And I'm wondering kind of, I guess, what would you say your message is now that you are sharing your songs and your lyrics with other people and performing them in public? What do you hope that audiences take away from that?
I'm a really, really, really big proponent of just like what hip hop has just done for me. Not only for me, but for like my family as well. Just like we all just are huge, huge fans and just like fans of the not only the genre but the culture as well. When it comes to just rap shit, there'll be times where I love it. There'll be times where I hate it. But at either points of those times, you'll see the passion that comes with it. At least for me. I feel as if sometimes the genre becomes stagnant because it doesn't feel like it's competitive enough. If that makes any type of sense. Like everybody, I feel like we gotten a little bit complacent with what we want to create, well, what we want to create when it comes to just like great stuff. So I want hope that people can see like how much I care about not only like how I write, but what I do to create these things, or just like how I'm able to perform these things in front of an audience. So I hope that people can understand that I genuinely care about what it is that I'm putting out towards just like anybody that's able to support my music. So really, I just want to make sure that I'm putting my best foot forward and people are able to acknowledge that, you know?
How would you say that? I believe Restitution is your latest single, if I'm correct.
Hmm.
Yeah, it just came out in October. Would you say that relates to that message that you just kind of described, or what is it about really?
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. So I guess restitution is that it was definitely one of those points where I just wanted to rap just because it was fun, you know, especially at that point where it's like not only that I just wanted to rap because it's fun, but my mom, she loved house music or not even house music, but just she loves music that she could just step to. So I wanted to do something along the confines of that where it's like not only am I able to like rap pretty good, but I can make music that my mom was able to dance to as well. So with that and plus a lot of the other stuff that I've been working on recently, I feel like that could be something that could two birds, one stone it. You know what I mean?
How would you say that growing up in Chicago, I know you went to high school somewhere else, but
Mhm.
spending the majority of your life in Chicago, going to school now in Chicago, how's that impacted your career and your interests currently?
It's definitely made a big impact on it. Cause especially within middle school, like I remember points in time where me, my friends, like I have my homie Marquise, my other homie Kevin, my other homie Bryce. We would just gather around the lunch table. We would just have like these little miniature rap battle things going on. Not only rap battles, but we'll just like Hey, did you check out this URL rap battle on YouTube the other night? What the bam? And we would just go and we would just have like this whole debate about just like, hey, who won this rap battle? Who didn't win this rap battle? What stuck out to you? What didn't? And then we would just go from there, and then we would just create our own miniature raps. We was just fucking around. It probably wasn't even that good for real, but just that joy of having that, especially within the friend group that I had at that point, it definitely served a major role in just like how it shaped just like my style of rap too. Just being able, because rap battle is all about wordplay. It's all about lyrical presence, stage presence, etc. So I'm able to like harness all of that and put that into just like what I'm able to write and how I'm able to just like manage when it comes to just like live performances as well. Um, Not only that, but when it comes to just Chicago, you never run out of stories, bro. Like for real. Like you'll never ever ever run out of stories when it comes to just like what you want to convey when it comes to just your writing. Like I remember like I just wrote this I wrote this other song. I don't I haven't recorded it yet, but I wrote this song about like this one interaction I had at this Maxwell Street, not too far from here. Well, not too far from here. Like the original Maxwell's out west. It felt as if it was like the song "How Much a Dollar Costs" by Kendrick, but you replace the homeless man with just the 18, 16-year-old. You never run out of stories, bro. You never ever ever run out of stories. And that's the main thing that I love about it is just like even though like everybody in Chicago is so different, we still have so our walks of life are so similar too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's really cool how you have used the community in Chicago to help with your career. And I actually had a question about that of your thoughts on collaboration, because I've seen that you have put out several different music videos, you've performed at different venues and open mics, have
Hmm.
photo shoots with photographers. So how has that come to be and how has that been for you? I'm sure that's like a new thing, but has it been fun or what are your
Yeah,
thoughts?
for sure. I feel like when it comes to collaboration, it's very pivotal in just like my growth because if I'm able to work with other people and just being able to like mesh well, not even just mesh well, but also clash with other ideas from coming from other people too. It helps keeps me inspired. So that way I'm able to like not only understand just like different styles runs around the city, but I'm able to adapt to these styles as well. So when it comes to just like collaborating with other artists, I feel as if like it definitely helps me grow so I'm able to understand how other people's minds work. And not only that, but just knowing that I'm able to adapt to these different spaces. So it helps me know that I'm not it helps me understand to like get out of my comfort zone, you know what I mean? So that way I'm able to like I guess evolve. Like I remember I had this one collaboration. It didn't come out yet, but I collaborated with one of my other friends, Fidel. Me and him, we have very, very, very different styles when it comes to just like creating. So he's more like the neo soul type of genre, subgenre. Me, I'm more like boom bap heavy. But me and him, we able to collaborate on this sort of like trap music type of sound. For both of us, that was something that was a little bit out of our comfort zone. And also not only that, but just being involved with other artists when it comes to just live performances too. That helps me understand like I'm able to collaborate with them and also being able to like share spotlight with them as well. So that way we both can grow our respective audiences with each other. Collaborating is definitely important to me, not only when it comes to just like making music, but just creativity in general. Because I have this other friend, her name's Lauren Hogan. She's a photographer. She's really, 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 really dope. She ended up doing a photo shoot for my first music video for Abstract Michelle. And that was like our first time meeting in general. So I wasn't like familiar just like with how she was able to like run things, but it was all comfortable when it came down to it. She's been like one of the photographers that I call on mainly ever since. So just being able to establish those relationships is definitely important, just like not only for my growth, but it helps me like just being able to make friends along the way too. You know what I mean?
When you are working with photographers, videographers, I guess just mediums that you aren't particularly like studying or anything,
Mhm.
do you have a lot of say in like the artistic process, or do you kind of just let that into their own hands?
A little bit of both. I definitely have somewhat of a route I want to create, but I do want to give like artists like their way to run things because obviously I'm not that skilled in there, but in that area, but I do want to like I do want to have some input on just like what some things that I like to see. But like for example, once again, me and Lauren, we had another photo shoot. I know that I wanted to have like a photo shoot where it's just like in all black and white, but she had came up with a lot of the ideas when it came to just like what kind of shots that we wanted to look for, whether it's like we look things up on Pinterest. We look things up on just like other photo shoots that happen around the city, or being inspired by other artists around the city, mainstream artists, underground artists from other regions, etc. So being able to like take tiny tidbits and pieces from other like areas that I'm appreciative of, but and also just seeing what her mind is like, just from not only like what we were able to collab on like in the past, but just her collaborations just on her own and seeing how she's able to figure things out. It was really, really dope. And even then, like when it was time to like actually like shoot, it was more so like even though we definitely had like a goal in mind, we definitely just like I guess like improvised on for a lot of the shots that we wanted to see too. Just like, hey, we can see some inspiration from taking some pictures on the fourth floor of the student center. We can take some inspiration from going over to Grant Skate Park and just taking pictures over there as well. Collaborating with other like not only like the people that I was able to bring with me, but other people that we met along the way too. Having like this big cipher, this big impromptu like cipher and at the skate park just for the fun of it and being able to photo shoot that so we can have some memories of that as well. That's like the main things that I was able to take from that, and that was just like probably the most fun I had in when it came to just like creating at this point. You know what I mean? And not only her, but just like the other stuff that I had collaborated with my other friends, Aiden and Josh. Well, Aiden, he runs Ironic Productions. Josh, he runs Save All Penguins. They're both videographers. They're great at what they do. Just being able to collaborate with them, just like seeing how they're able to work. Not only that, but just like we have very common interests as well. Just from Aiden, me and him, we love sports. Like we really, really, really big on baseball.
Right.
So just with him and not only him but Josh as well, like we were able to establish a bond not only as like being able to be co-creators, but just as friends as well. This all started off with just a couple of dap ups in the motherfucking student center. So being able to just like establish these bonds, it was really important for me to just not only just grow as an artist, but just grow as a person too.
Would you say that going to Columbia, because I don't know if all these people go to Columbia, but I think a
They
good
do.
chunk of them do. Yeah. Has that helped you, I guess, not only in meeting people, but in what you have learned, or I guess how has that influenced you in general?
Uh Columbia, it definitely helped me a lot because I probably wouldn't be like still doing this creative writing thing if I didn't go to Columbia, honestly. If I not went to Columbia, I probably wouldn't be back rapping because I definitely took a break from by the time COVID hit to the time that we got back into school. So with that, it definitely helped me get back into creating. But I feel like all the people that I met throughout my just me creating, I definitely met them like during my time in Columbia, but I feel like I would have came across them had I not been to Columbia as well. That Columbia has really helped me. I'll definitely say that, but I I probably will owe a lot to it, just like fate, honestly.
I saw that you have released, I feel like a lot this year. When did you first start, I guess, releasing music on like Spotify, I guess, or wherever you release
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I believe my first like drop was March the
Okay.
19th.
So it's just this year you started in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I feel like you've already come out with like we've been saying, the music videos, the photo shoots, just the singles alone. I feel like you've come out with a lot. So I guess how have you been balancing that and what has helped you keep pushing things out?
What's kept me inspired is knowing that nobody's checking for me right now, especially not on the scale of like a who's a lot of decent artists that's running around this city right now. That's in comparison to a Heavy Crowns or a Chris Crack or a Pink Seafood or a J Bambi, etc., or a Saba or whatever the case may be. So it's just like nobody is checking for Youngin right now. So, however, even though nobody's checking for me right now, it still gives me the time that I'm able to just like control what my narrative is, like being able to show people like what I'm capable of. Not only that, but just like who I am as a person. So one of my mentors, he had said that no, even though nobody's checking for young and you still have time to like establish who you are. Even though some of these people are definitely well established, they got to stay with who they're established as for the rest of their career. You still have time to create that. Take that time where that unknown, you can able to establish that and be able to just like bask in it. I definitely took like that time to heart, and I definitely took that conversation to heart because like them looking at my stats, honestly, nobody is checking for Younger right now. Even though like I definitely got a decent amount of support and I got a good support system around me. I ain't got that vast of an audience. So with that, I'm still able to understand like what I want my sound to be. Not only what I want my sound to be, but like what I want to stand for, what I don't want to stand for, and being able to just figure out who I want to be, not only as an artist, but just like who I want to be just towards the masses as well, you know?
Would you say you have any changes you want to make in the upcoming year or any upcoming projects, new stuff that you know that you're going to be coming out with, that'll hopefully help you grow your audience to be even bigger?
Yeah, yeah. I definitely want to like pump out a lot more content next year so people will be able to see me around. Way more live performances than what I had because I won't lie, 2024 when it came to live performances, it was a little bit on the dry side. But even though it was on the dry side, I could take the good with the bad. Even though I definitely had some dry spots when it comes to live performances, the times where I did have live performances, a lot of people appreciated what I was able to put forth. And not only that, but I was able to make some strides when it comes to just like when I want to drop music and how I want to drop music too. And also just having a point when it comes to dropping music, not just dropping music just because. I definitely made some improvements when it came to that, but I definitely want to act upon that way more when it comes to 2025. So there was a lot of strides that I made in 2024, but we still got a lot of room for improvement too.
I'm excited to see what you put out. When you applied and I listened to that, I was like, this is really good. And I'm kind
Thank
of
you. I
surprised
appreciate
to
that.
hear that you just started putting out music because it seems like I thought it was like a project that you had been working on for like a really long time and that you've had experience with because it just sounds really good.
Thank you so much.
Of course. That's all for this episode. Thank you, Youngin, for being on the Limelight podcast. Please tell the people where they can find you.
Where you can follow me on Instagram at young period in two underscores at the end. Twitter, I think is young underscore in and two underscores. TikTok, I don't really be on TikTok too tough, but I think it's young dot in dot two. And I think that's it. New music on the way, I hope. new a mixtape is on the verge. Who knows? And yes, it's I got a lot of stuff to show y'all, and I can't wait on that
Yay. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you at the next one.
for surely.